seeking to intentionally understand your wife and what she needs from you, but is not receiving. So that's what Brandon was asking me, like, okay, babe, so what am I not, or what is this, what is that? And I was like,
And she
okay,
had to really break it down really elementary to me.
like seriously, I was like, you didn't know this, you didn't so, and I'm still working on my patience, and he did tell me to work on, continue to be patient and continue to not get frustrated.
Because you asked me, you said, well, what can I do?
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that, it, like, again, it's not just him, it's both of us in this marriage. So what can I do?
And it tells you to ask me in that book,
Yeah,
right?
it does, and not to really get crazy with
Yeah, and so what I told her, I said, I'm still trying to learn and understand what you're trying to translate to me.
you.
So I ask that you don't get frustrated or like angry that I'm not really getting what you laying out to me. I just, just help me grow in this process, right? Right? Help me grow in this process, and don't go like, yo, I talked to you about this 2 days ago. Like, you still ain't getting it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm working on that, y'all.
So that's the thing right there. I need her to just help me in this process, and don't yell at me or don't get frustrated about it.
Working on that too. And he knows when I am, because I'll just, and it's okay. And I just like, all right, Brandon, it's fine. Walk away and just pray. And it's not too bad. And then to close this love out, because we gotta kind of move faster.
Yes.
To close this out, this is interesting. He asked the lady about the for the husband and wife. He asked the wife, what would she want him to change, or to work on for her, right? The husband assumed it was going to be like to spend more time with the children, to help her, blah, blah, blah. Do you know, she said to stop biting his nails. Right? So basically, he said, ask your wife, what is it? Which one is it? My friend laughed that she told me that he's a habit of biting his nails. So it was like, what do you want that he can show you love by kind of showing the prioritizing, or like, what
get on your nerves the most, or what bothers you the most about him?
Yes. But that is with sacrificing, because you're putting her first.
Right.
It says right here, but you won't know unless you ask, right? Right here, hold on. I'm trying to find the question. Try to meet as many of this needs as possible. So if you have welled off communication in your marriage, just extend that you don't even know what your wife wants or needs, and she's too timid to say anything to you. Go to her right now and ask her so what she wants and needs from you. And it could be the simplest thing. So when I read that, I was like, oh, you going that simple? Shoot, what I say? One of my pet peeves, y'all. I can't stand it.
I'm not gonna say it.
He's not gonna say it. And if you're a guy on here, you probably know what it is. And I tell him to go to the bathroom to do that and take care of that. Not just sounding like a race car throughout my house. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. Moving forward, the next one for number 2 is honoring your wife. So we're gonna speed this on. Honoring your wife. This one was interesting because when I read this, the first thing, well, actually, you know what? Before we do that, let me answer April. I don't know if she's still on, but it says, we got a lot of men who aren't kingdom men. This is true, because I didn't even know all these scenarios were even a situation. They have no idea what that means. That's what we said. A lot of marriages would be saved, right? This is everything is great, and this is why we're talking about this, right? This is why we're bringing up what is a kingdom marriage, what is a kingdom husband, what is a kingdom wife,
and where are our kingdom men?
Where are they? Because like you said, April, a lot of Christians don't even really know of these things. And the awesome thing is, guys, that as a wife, like, if you know about this, talk to your husband. Hey, she said, I'm still here. If you know about it, there's actually, which Brandon was telling me about it, there's a book called Kingdom Husband.
It's called Kingdom Husband. It's called Kingdom Men.
Kingdom Men, I think it's probably the
It's
same,
by
like
Tony
Tony
Evans,
Evans.
but
So
this
the,
is Kingdom Marriage.
so the good news is, this is why I'm so thankful and grateful that, you know, God speaks to me and Brandon about what we're doing, because like you're saying, April, I didn't even know there was such a, I know this sounds really bad because like we love God and we follow Jesus and all that, but I didn't know there was just specificness for kingdom marriage. Like these are the principles, you know, following and this and that. And now I didn't even know there was a Kingdom Men book, you know, but now we found that out. So we're here to spread the word, because our main goal is, like you're saying, so many divorces will be saved.
Correct.
So many with understanding the role, so many marriages, so many husbands, and it could be vice versa. It could be the wife. The wife cannot understand or know, which I haven't read that part, so that's gonna be great for y'all. But the next one is honoring your wife. The funny thing about this part, and we're gonna start shutting it down, is that when I read this part, Brandon was like, "Oh yeah, I honor you." Hey, cuzzo. I said, "Oh, do you? Oh, okay." And then the first part I went to was, this is my favorite one. When it asked in the book, do you as a husband go and seek counsel to your wife? Because if you honor your wife, you see her as equal. This is what it's saying, right? So listen, knowing that your wives, honoring them and praying with them. So that's the next ones, right? Praying with them. So what does that mean? He must see the home as a primary place to exercise Christ's mandate, which is self-giving love, right? Okay, so the next one says the husband must be committed to the home as a place of vocation and calling in addition to his workplace, right? So we're going into equality with the husband and the wife. You're honoring the wife, right? So Brandon's like, oh yeah, I do, right? To live with your wife in an understanding way also means that the husband is responsible for ultimately knowing his wife, right? And the interesting part is a lot of marriages, they're like, oh, I know my wife. Oh, I know my husband. Oh, I honor her, I honor him. But then you get deep into the facts. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, and I'm not even trying to be funny because this happened to us. Brandon was like, oh, I thought I did.
You know, they used to have this game back in the day, when I was growing up, called the Newlywed Games, right?
Yeah.
And you had to guess what your spouse knew about certain situations to see how well you know them.
Yes, and look at the main thing. The husband must be committed to taking time, go back to intentional, to come to know her and making necessary adjustments in his schedule to open up that space. Yeah, April's like, wow, yes. When I read this, I was like, oh, Jesus, won't he do it? We was reading it together too. Look at my underlines. Y'all see, I underlined like the whole paragraph. Then it says, another role of the husband is to honor, right? As a fellow here of the grace of life. That's the wife. To grant honor to your wife is to place her in a position of significance and treat her as someone unique. This is good because there's sometimes I gotta tell Brandon, like, Brandon, you talking to me like I'm some corner piece on the side or something. Like, hold up. Like, wait a minute, what is this? Who are you talking to? Hold up, babe. Then it says a true commitment to honor your wife means more than just honoring her on special days. Valentine, it says birthdays, anniversaries, Valentine's Day. It means consistently communicating to her the value you place on your relationship, where you place her in the relationship, right? So we as kingdom leaders, this is a husband, should show that same consistency to our wives. So it's not husbands, just she's important when you need her. She's important when you feel like it. She's important. Oh, her birthday, anniversary, we're going to go out. But you don't forget about date night the whole year. Like the man, she's created in the image of God and worthy of honor as the man's spiritual equal in his eyes of God. So remember my submission, y'all. We both equal. So when I read this, I was like, oh, this part is good. Do you treat and view your wife as equal? So I asked Brandon. He's like, yeah, sure. Well, he didn't say sure. He said, yeah. One way to know if you do is whether you seek her counsel when you're faced with a decision. So I specifically we talked about this one for like 10 minutes, y'all, because that's one of my pet peeves with Brandon, y'all. And I think I said this before. When Brandon will call me, guys, and we're transparent. I'm not dogging him or nothing like that. He knew I was gonna say this. When he calls me, and I think I've said this before, kind of like when the map quest, he'll be like, hey babe, what do you think about this? Or I think I'm doing this, or I think that. I'm like, no, it's not right, it's not cool, or I'll say something. Oh no, I think I'm still gonna do it. I'm like, what? Why? So that is like my number, like maybe 2 of other things. That's the worst. So now, ladies, you guys heard this before from me. I've gotten to the point that I don't fool myself. If he calls and asks hey babe, I say to him, if I answer this, will you even consider my answer? Or do you already have your mind made up and you just want to hear what I gotta say? Because if that's the case, I won't even sweat it. If you don't even listen, he'd be like, yeah, I kind of already do know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, because
I'm like, so then why are you calling me?
Because sometimes I feel like it's a confirmation,
If I say what he's thinking.
Yes.
But if I give another view and perspective, he's like, nah, I'm still gonna do what I did. I'm like, are you serious? Are you just wasting my time, my breath, my energy? So that's not equal. Because if we were, he would consider my thoughts and my counsel more than what is just only him.
But see, when you do this though, I understand what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I need to have an answer of why you made that decision.
Okay. So we're not going to get into it, but yes. Then another way to show equal is, are you seeking to spend time with your wife or leisure time? Right? I talked about this and I tell my wives a lot. Is your husband hanging out more with the fellas than with you? And I understand, yes, we need community and friends, but it should not be more than. It shouldn't be, am I hanging out with the girlfriends every weekend and my husband is at the crib, at the house, watching a game every weekend, and we're not spending that quality time, that free leisure time, because this is my spouse. You know what I mean? Like, where is that at when it comes to honoring your spouse? If you honor your spouse, you're equal. She is going to be first. He is going to be first. Hey, I'm off for the weekend. What we got going on? We go to the game or something. I'm not saying it's only just me. Like, I'll ask me, like, hey, if I know it's a game that he likes, I'll ask him, like, hey, are you gonna go watch a game with your brother, with your friend, or you want to stay home and kick it and hang out? I don't just be like, oh, you have to be with me. Like, that's not how it is. But it also says that the husband has to want it.
Yeah.
Right. And then close in this part, it says, God will not do anything for the husband unless his wife is included. That's a good one. I underlined that one too. Right? So the last role is a husband to pray with his wife. So we finished the honor, we finished the love. The last one, which you got 5 more minutes left, is the praying with his wife. At the root of the command for the husband to live with his wife in an understanding way and honor her is this warning, so that your prayers will not be hindered. This is 1 Peter 3. Since the wife is a fellow heir of grace of life, which that's good. I didn't know that. This is 1 Peter, fellow heir of the grace of life. So that's me. That's good. God will not do anything for the husband unless his wife is included. That's good. So when, if you're there just, oh, I'm going to have this whole 7-figure lifestyle and doing all these things, but you're not even praying and considering your wife, God is not going to bless that. Right? God views the marriage covenant as entering into one flesh. The wife is now included in any interaction God has with the husband. That's good. You like that?
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking? It's some good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like I said, it's anything because you're one. It makes sense, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes sense, you know. Why would he not bless both of you? You know
You
what
know,
I mean?
remember when I said this though, when we were like not doing the best and you were like not listening, I'm praying and all that stuff. And I was like, babe, I really feel like we're not really being blessed in certain areas of our lives because we're not equally yoked or aligned.
Or I was more disconnected.
Yeah.
And that happens to us. A lot of us husbands at times we get disconnected. And you know what happens? It's actually this one verse that I heard Kanye West said in one of his songs. He said, I'm afraid to talk to you, God, because I haven't talked to you in so long.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And
mm,
it's like you scared because it's like that friend that, you know, or that, you know, that loved one that you love, but you haven't talked to them in so long and you
mhm.
feel like the relationship is gonna be awkward, but that ain't how God
He's
operates.
not.
He don't operate like that. He's always there, you know what
Because
I
he
mean?
knows what's been going on the whole time anyways.
Yes, but you know, like you said, but that's in us, like we afraid to talk
Mhm.
because we haven't talked about it in so long. A lot of men, like April was saying about men going to church, a lot of men don't go to church because they haven't been to church in so long.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Or they're just not comfortable to
They-
talk, like you
They're
said.
not comfortable to talk, or they're not comfortable to even go in the house of worship. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because they been, or they might have church hurt. You know, they got
Yeah.
church hurt, and they don't want to experience that church hurt again.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? But it's not like that. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's a different experience, right?
Mm.
And that's what church should be every time you go.
Well,
Church should be a different experience. It
every
shouldn't be
time.
the same thing every time you go every Sunday.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
it's good you mentioned that because look what it says at the end. The husband then must be committed to praying with his wife so that together they can reap the spiritual benefits of God's kingdom's plan. So I tell like it's just I just drop the mic like when it comes to these type of scenarios when the unevenness of the prayers of the service of the church of the union and then this is why so many and this is talking from our experience personally before we started understanding so many different elements of this is now this is why I understand I get it why we would go through so many arguments so many fights so many disagreements so many we were just on discord in so many areas.
Right.
And as soon as we start learning, especially with this, I was like, oh man, like honestly, guys, all these a lot of I told Brandon this year, I'm all about my marriage and Christian books, like reading, learning, and understanding. And of course, you guys know I do my Bible every morning, you know, with Brandon and a couple of my friends. And so to close this last part is did it just exit out?
Yeah.
Oh, why did that? It looks weird. All the people left. Husbands as leaders are the spiritual thermostat of their marriages and families, setting the spiritual thermostat of the home. The wife, however, is the thermometer. That's good. Indicating the actual temperature reading in the home, because I follow your lead, right? To know whether a man is following God's kingdom agenda for his home, the best place to look at is his wife. Does she feel loved, known, honored, and spiritually encouraged in her relationship with her husband? If the answer is no, then the husband must inspect his thermostat for damage and reinvest his time and resources into fulfilling his role as the kingdom man and husband. This is when, like April said, some people don't know about this. We're not learning. Well, you know what? Now we are. Now we're learning. Now there's no excuses. Let's spread the word. Let's discuss it. Let's put it everywhere. Husbands, if you want a summer wife, then don't bring home winter weather.
Drop the mic.
That's how this chapter ended with the husband.
Can you repeat that again?
Husbands, if you want a summer wife, then don't bring home winter weather. So, in other words, the thermostat is so zero.
Whoa, that was too real.
It's so cold and negative. Because remember, she's the thermostat, right?
If I want a summer wife, I can't bring home the winter weather. Wow.
So
We're
listen,
gonna end on that.
we're gonna end
note.
on that. We're right at the actually we did a whole hour because it was so good. Really 45 because we didn't start right on it. But Wednesday, any comments, concerns? This I told y'all I knew this was gonna be fire. We've been talking about this since last night. This morning I had this post. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so good. And there's actually some videos I want to look. They have videos about this.
Okay.
I didn't know that on YouTube. You know, I'm gonna be going in. So then on Wednesday, which me and Brandon gonna read tonight, is The Kingdom Wife.
Mhm.
Brandon's been wanting to do this since last night. He's excited to discuss.
I was like, when can we
Me.
get to the kingdom woman, the wife, right?
Because you know what? The Kingdom Husband, it was pretty like lengthy. It was like 3 or 4 pages. So
But
Brandon is like, okay, can't
it makes
it's
sense.
your turn.
Yeah, they dig deep. They dig deep.
Mm.
Dig deep.
But I feel like, honestly, well, mine is long too. I
Well,
feel like, honestly, and no offense to my guys out there, for anybody listening, but I do believe, kind of like my friend said, not too many people know, or husband or men understand or even know about this. For women, because we're so much into the spiritual stuff and learning about the walk and God, we find all these things.
and like you
We
said,
look,
and like you said, a lot of times, which you realize, you're also looking to satisfy our needs.
yeah.
You know,
So that was great. That was a
was
deal
great.
breaker, y'all. It's about to be a blessing. Once this baby is out, it's about to be like all my needs. Well, shoot, not even before that. We better get it on. And Brandon was like, oh my God. But it's okay, because at the end of the day, I love serving my husband. You should love it. And sometimes he gets on my nerves, but I'm still like, all right, whatever, hurry up. Do what you gotta do. Finish.
Really?
So anyways,
You sound
but
nice.
I know it's not, he feels bad when I say that, but sometimes it is what it is. Like, okay, come on, let's go. Time is ticking. Um, Brennan don't like when I do that, but it's funny because men do it to women, but then we do it to them. They feel like, oh, you're just using me. I'm some kind of toy thing or something. It's like, whatever. You do it to, anyways. So moving forward, can you pray us out?
Yes, I can pray us
What you
out.
was gonna say?
No, I was going to
How
say
you like the chapter?
it was very educational.
And it's good to like sit down and have that time with your spouse. And if it's a topic that's difficult, just go follow the book, follow the principles, follow it, and have it an open discussion with your spouse. Because it's not the good thing, ladies, is not you saying. So the husband won't really trip too much. Blame it on Tony Evans. Like, dude, why is he saying this? Well, guess what? It's helping your marriage,
Right. And you're learning as you
Yes.
use the material.
So, but that was great. So we'll be back on Wednesday. He's probably gonna be so excited going in, and then we're gonna read it tonight. And no arguments too when you're reading this stuff. You always gotta make up and pray and love one another, kiss and hug it out, and just work on how you can be better as a person, as a spouse, as a marriage, as parents, as all the above, right? And that's it. Thank you. That was a great call.
Great call.
Night time.
Spirit of living God, thank you for this information that you just dropped on everybody's heart and mind and soul, Father. We needed this demonstration, this teaching. This was like a preach teaching that we needed to understand what a kingdom husband looked like, and where are the kingdom men in this world, and are we being examples, and are the men that are listening on this call on that mission? And I pray if they're not on that mission, they get on that mission. And I pray that this call reach those men that are not on that mission. And I pray that this call reach those men that are not living that kingdom man life, and so that they can change their lifestyle for the better of their family, their future, their generation. Right, Father, I just pray that you can break some change, break some generational curse with this information that you gave us today, Father, and that you delivered this message through me and Jan. We're able to talk to it. This is an icebreaker. This is a groundbreaker right here that can break and just break the chains off marriages that have been going through a lot of stuff and not really understanding what's happening in their household and their family. So I thank you for all this. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, I didn't say nothing about it. I got my pink lip thing going. Got my pink little eyeshadow and my little heart earrings for Valentine's Day, the month. And then I got our marriage porn shirt on, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited and it's great. Go to our Instagram, guys, marriage.p.
P.O.R.N. Marriage porn, pure, open, renew, and navigate, guys. Also follow us on YouTube, subscribe and like on YouTube. I will repost this on YouTube. I think we had some technical difficulties.
I think it's on.
So we will have this on YouTube, and you can follow us on that at Barkham Family.
Instagram, guys. Marriage.
Yes. Porn, pure, open, renew, and navigate. There you go.
Now it's up and live. It probably been going this whole time because remember it was just turning and so people were watching.
Okay, so again, like I said, go on our YouTube, like and subscribe, guys. We got more tools for you guys coming up in the near future. So just be consistent and stay attentive to us. We'll be
Put the
back
notifications
on
on,
Wednesday.
put the notifications on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, and stuff.
Wednesday night, a Kingdom Wife. So Brandon got it. I'll be in.
Yeah, I bet.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all. I love y'all. And it's gonna be 8:30. We're gonna, do it, keep it earlier. It's better for everyone, and we get to read some more after this. The us time, which I had to explain what us time meant 100 times yesterday night,
Yes.
reviewing this chapter. But now I think we're clear on us time. Brandon, I have to tell them A, B, and C. But anyways, thank y'all.
you.
Appreciate y'all. Have a blessed night. See
Love
y'all.
you. Good night.
Peace. Let's see. Looks like we're on. See y'all. For people watching, what y'all think? Eyeshadow popping. Don't you hate when you make it come out so cute and then you're about to go to bed? It's like, man, I gotta wipe all this off and it came out super cute. I'm gonna take a picture though.